3 a.m. We'll let the record reflect that all supervisors are present at roll call with the exception of Supervisor Brady.
Okay.
Madam Chairwoman?
Okay. We have no community comments. Marty, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Your last name? Caifano. Okay. If you want to step up to the podium, Marty is interviewing for the position as the Stony Brook Golf Pro.
And just for the record, we'll note that Mark Wehrman had a family emergency and was not able to attend this morning.
Okay, so we have Marty, Jordan, and Kyle. Okay, very good. Marty, I understand that you just recently had some surgery?
Yeah, I just recently had, can you hear me with the mic?
Yes.
Is that good? Yeah, I recently had vocal cord surgery. I had some polyps removed from my vocal cords. Good news is it came back benign.
Very good.
So that's good. So I'm in a recovery process, and we'll get back there pretty soon.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we start on the, yes, he needs it more than I do, thank you. We, not only do we video, but we also audio this so that our secretary can type the minutes for us.
Sure.
This is Tom Sarazinski.
How you doing?
Oh, you've already met, okay. And Adam Dalton, Phil Simonson.
Yeah, no Phil.
And Chuck Adams, who is our managing agent. Marty, tell us something about your career, and then we can ask some questions. And
Sure, absolutely. I was born and raised in the southwest suburbs of Chicago. Started playing golf when I was 10 years old. That's kind of old compared to the way kids are starting out these days. But I got pretty involved in golf. Loved the game right from the beginning. Played a lot of junior golf stuff. Was pretty successful. Wound up getting a golf scholarship to Northwestern University. So played for Northwestern, and when I graduated, I decided I want to give it a shot to get out on the PGA Tour. So I spent many years working hard towards that goal and that dream. Went to Q school a couple times. I made it to the finals once, almost made it to the finals once. It was about as far as I got with the PGA Tour. Once I realized that I couldn't quite get out there, I decided I love the game, so I want to get in the golf business. And then I dedicated myself to getting into the PGA of America, Professional Golf Association of America. Became a member there. Started working in the golf business. I started out, my first job in the golf business was as an assistant in Orlando. I moved down to Orlando in 1991, where I was working to get on the PGA Tour. And I started out as an assistant in Orlando. That was my first managerial position 20 years ago. And then I worked my way further south, South Florida, to all the way down to Crane Golf at Key Biscayne, where I was director of golf. Most recently, for 4 years, I was at Crane Golf, Key Biscayne. And that's basically my golf history, my background, in a simplified format.
Phil, do you have questions? Okay, Adam?
Marty, can you tell us about Key Biscayne, how it runs, profitability, like what you think is really well run there, and maybe what is a little bit?
Well, Key Biscayne was an awesome facility. We hosted the Champions Tour for 18 years. Back in, it was like right around late 1980s to 2005. So the facility was phenomenal. The course was beautiful. The staff was, the community, the regular players, everything was great about the place. The challenges with it was run by Miami-Dade County. Miami-Dade County owned it. So everything about it I loved, except we had a lot of challenging staff issues. Because Miami-Dade County, the people that owned the facility didn't know much about golf. So they didn't understand we were doing 50,000 rounds a year, close to it. Very busy place, nonstop year-round. And we needed a large staff. Well, they didn't have that many full-time positions offered. They had a lot of part-time positions. So we're always losing staff constantly. We're always at a way below minimum staff. And that created a lot of challenges and problems for us. But other than that, it was a great facility to work. We did a lot of tournaments. We ran a lot of events. We had a Men's Golf Association. We did monthly events with the Men's Golf Association, with the Ladies Golf Association during the season. We did weekly events. We did probably about 30 corporate outings during the season. So it was a busy place, and we had a lot going on, a lot of good events at the place. place as well.
You said it was run by Miami-Dade County. Was it like a government?
Miami-Dade County is actually the third largest county in the United States. About 1.2 million people are part of Miami-Dade County. The other 1.2 or 3 million people are part of the city of Miami. So the city and the county are about the same size.
This was, I guess, not a private entity. This is a public.
It wasn't private, it was open to the public. It had a little resort feel to it because the Ritz-Carlton Hotel was, see, Granite Golf was on the island of Key Biscayne, but it's a small island, by about 15,000 people on the island. And the Ritz-Carlton was about 2 miles south of the golf course, right on, that was the only main hotel on the island. So we did a lot of business with the Ritz-Carlton. It was high-end, and we did a lot of outings through them, so it was kind of a resort feel, because pretty much everybody that stayed there to play golf played at Granite, because we're right there. So,
What about just profitability percentages and stuff like that, of course?
the course did pretty well. We did 3.7 million, basically on average, year in, year out when I was there, and so it survived in a good way. We could have made more if the Miami-Dade County would have understood what a gem it is. You know, they put money into it, but they could have increased the budget to really make it like a Torrey Pines or a Pebble Beach if they really wanted to, and then it could have been phenomenal. So,
Was revenue or was that profit?
well, the 3.7 was revenue. Yeah, annual revenue.
How was?
Excuse me just a second. Chris, did you join?
Well, they didn't, the county really never disclosed what the profit was, because then they shared money through, they also had 4 other golf courses that they owned and operated. So they kind of split everything up among the courses. So you never got a direct answer from them as far as...
How much debt did you have in your shop?
We had about, it fluctuated at times, but basically on average we had around $100,000 worth of merchandise in the golf shop.
Staff.
Oh, staff. Well, that ranged too. There were times where I was running the place on my own. There were times where I had a head pro and a first assistant under me as well. And then we also had, we had 2 full-time staff members that were there most of the time. They weren't managerial positions, but they helped out, like shop help. Then we had some part-time people that worked outside and inside, did a little bit of both. But it wasn't steady all the time. We had a big turnover because Key Biscayne is in a difficult place, you know, and it was far from where, because cost of living is pretty high if you got close to that area. So to hold people over time, they had tolls and gas and time to travel to get there with traffic. Miami traffic is terrible. I don't know if you ever experienced it, but it's when I grew up in Chicago, and I think it's worse than Chicago traffic, as a matter of fact, yeah, at times. But
Missed how many rounds did you say you did a year, Marty?
what's that?
50. I missed that. I didn't hear it.
While we have a little break here, let's entertain a motion to allow Supervisor Brady's continued participation by phone, noting exceptional circumstances.
A second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. He's with his family in Missouri, so. Chris Brady, you didn't get to meet him, he's on the phone.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so, did you have any questions?
Marty, what, if this was not a government-run golf course, what changes would you make?
Well, first off, I would try to see how we could make the place, like I was saying, on level up with like a Torrey Pines or a Pebble Beach. I'm trying to get the funding together, which there were a lot of wealthy people on Key Biscayne that had a lot of interest in trying to make the place something really great, and that would be the number one goal that I would have had there, was to just make it into something phenomenal, you know, because it had that ability. Yeah.
Have you worked with golf now?
I work with golf now, we did a little bit at Crandon, but at the facility I was at before, Woodmont Country Club, we did a lot with golf now. We had meetings with them on a regular basis, trying to build the business and that sort of thing, so I have a lot of experience with them, yeah.
What operating system does Crandon use?
Well, Crandon, see, we did enough rounds, so we didn't really have to rounds. That wasn't the goal to try to get you 60 or 65,000 rounds. The county was pretty satisfied with doing 50,000 rounds, so we didn't have to push for a lot of business. But we used avenues. We had something called the patron card to keep regulars coming back. It was a card that people could buy, and it would give them some type of extra privileges for all the county courses. It was $100 to purchase the card. They had a little bit of discount on rates. They could make tee times 8 days advance instead of 7 days, kind of similar to here, that you guys have a card here, or a pass. You guys have that pass, golf pass here. Well, it was similar in some ways. The pass that you guys have is more like a real membership, but you guys did give tee times, and people could make tee times 14 days in advance with your pass, I understand. But with Granted, you can make it 8 days in advance with that card, 7 days in advance for the general public. So it has some benefits and privileges, and it kept the regulars coming back. And they also had a point system for people based on the amount of rounds they played, the amount of revenue they spent for golf fees. They would get a free round once they reached a certain amount, and they could use that free round pretty much any time they wanted. So that was a nice perk with the card as well. So that kept people coming back. It kept a little bit more of a regular feel for people, gave people some importance if they had the card to come back and play at Grandin. Yeah. I did. I didn't do much teaching at Grandin because they had a golf academy there that did all the teaching, but over the years I've taught thousands of lessons in the past at other places.
Outside pros teaching at your facility.
What's that?
What would you think about outside pros teaching at your facility?
Outside pros, I understand you also have a school. Andy Scott runs the school here, so you have enough people teaching there. So if you bring in more outside people, that creates some problems. I don't know what kind of policy is created right now here with Stony Brook and Andy Scott's facility and what goes on with letting people out, but I prefer to keep it limited to the staff at the club because you have more control over them, especially if they're involved. You want to have people affiliated with the PGA or certified teachers through an academy where there's also a certified teacher association in America. So if you have control over staff, when you have people that are accredited, you're going to have a much better quality of staff doing all your teaching. Yeah.
Who bought your merchandise, Marty?
What's that?
Who bought your merchandise for the pro shop? Who bought your merchandise?
Who bought the merchandise? I did the purchasing in the golf shop. Yeah.
All the
It was a little bit, but then again, you had to go through the county bidding process, so that was just another sticky area. So it had challenges there because you couldn't just pick up the phone and call your rep and say, send me this and send me that, which is the way most people do it. But the county had to get bids approved, and they had to go back and forth, and so you had to if you wanted to have merchandise, new merchandise in the shop through a certain vendor, it was going to take you like 4 months to get it, at least. It seemed like 4 or 5 months. So you had to really plan in advance on what you wanted. So
For all the merchandise, clothing,
Yeah.
shoes.
yeah, we carried mostly men's clothing. Ladies, I love to keep all the ladies happy at the club, but it's really difficult to stock a lot of merchandise for ladies in the club because ladies, they don't want to wear the same thing as somebody else, as I found out over the years. There's so many different varieties and tastes, and the problem is it's not like running a shopping mall where you have thousands of people coming in to buy your stuff. You're limited with the people coming in, so in order to be successful, you'd have to carry a lot of merchandise with ladies, and the problem is then you got a lot left over, and you're always selling it on sale, so you're never really making much money through the ladies. So that has its problem. So, yeah.
Marty, have you played this golf course? If so, what are your thoughts? What would you improve?
As far as what?
Have you played this golf course?
I was driving through there, and I think I played it a long time ago. I have small recollection, but I'm not 100% sure if I've played it. But I've heard good things about it. Yep.
Well, I'll answer a question. When you had, at your golf courses, did you have a lot of interaction with the superintendent?
Yeah, that was a huge thing with me. I had weekly meetings with the superintendent, and he in constant contact with me. I had good communication with him. I told him, call me anytime you have any questions. You know, we're always up to date with our calendar of events, so he always knew when we had shotguns going on or specific events we had to have the greens double cut or double rolled or whatever we needed, especially for men's golf associate events, club championships, and that sort of thing. Your golf course is your bread and butter. That's what makes or breaks you. So if you don't have a good relationship with your superintendent, you're dead. You know, and you have to keep the golf course in good shape. If the golf course is in good shape, no matter how hard you try, people aren't going to come out and play it. They're not going to come back. That's the most important thing.
John has done a tremendous job here and has had a very good relationship with the pros, and that's I guess one of his strongest concerns is that you would work well with him and his staff. And as with most courses, a good portion of our staff is Hispanic, but we do have someone that does translating, so we're okay with that. And your Patriots Pass, and yes, we do have that membership, but we do, because we are in a community, which I'm assuming that your course was not in a community?
No, we didn't have any. We're on the island of Key Biscayne, but there wasn't any houses on the golf course.
Okay.
It was kind of just
so
golf only.
Your Patriots Pass is, I guess, in some ways similar to our residents. Residents get
Right.
perks and preferential treatment, and so that would be, you know, with that, I mean, you would have customers coming in regularly. Here you have residents all the time. And this board is can only be made up of residents, so we are all residents.
Okay.
So, and then that was my biggest concern. And
Marty, what's your thought process in applying for a job? What's the appeal? What's your motivation
To be with what?
to apply for this role?
I'm having a hard time here. Understand.
Why did you apply for this role? What's the motivation?
Why did I apply for this position? Well, I've heard good things about the club. It seems like it's on the same lines of the place at Grand Golf Key Biscayne, an upscale facility. I've worked also in a community, a place called Golden Bear Club at Kings Point. That was in Orlando. It's a private facility, but it had a big community like this around it, so I had good experience that. So I feel like my overall background in the public golf sector and the semi-private sector, which this has it's a semi-private feel to it, with the past that you have. I have a lot of experience in that, and I've always had a good relationship with places that had some kind of membership involved, because I like to interact with the members. I like to play golf with the members, and that's the way that you find out things that go on at the club. That's the way you find out what needs to be done and the weaknesses and positives of the club. You know, I've known a lot of directors of golf. They sit in their office and they come in and out, and that's about all they do that day. They don't get involved with the people, and it's not the way I want to live. I want to be a part of where I'm at, and I want to have a good understanding of what's going on at the club at all times. And a place that has some kind of membership to it, you can get that more, because you have more regulars involved, and you can create more relationships with people that way. Yeah.
because we do have a 2 leagues on Wednesday that can have up to 120 golfers.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
And Saturday league, and then we have other leagues throughout the Monday, So there are a lot of leagues. I'm going to say 50-50 are residents, the residents is not, so, but we need to, like you said, work well with all of them.
Can I ask this question? Chuck, how much are you looking at?
How much am I looking at? Salary? Basically, around the 90 range. If I can make 90, that would work for me, yeah.
Did you have a junior golf program at all?
I've been involved with junior golf. In the past, I've run junior golf programs. Now, the Academy at Grandin, they did the junior golf stuff there. But when I was at the place that I was at previously, Woodmont, I was involved with junior golf there, and we ran junior golf camps. And yeah, I love working with kids. I love the kids are your future of the game, and you have to have that at a facility. If you don't have much junior golf, you're going to reach your dead end in the future. You have to promote the game that way. It's important.
actually had 2 of our juniors go to the drive, chip, and putt.
Oh, yeah? Oh, that's wonderful, yeah.
Yes. And that's something that we really want to build up more so.
Yeah.
Marty, what questions do you have for us?
For you guys, sure. Well, first of all, the name of okay, so the homeowners association, that's the development company that built the subdivision, they own the golf course or the homeowner. Yeah, I'm trying to understand that.
Good luck. Actually, the homeowners do not own the golf course. The homeowners pay nothing into the golf course.
But the homeowners own it.
No,
Oh, they do not.
the CDD board owns it.
What's the name? Is the CME?
CDD, the Community District Development. This board
CE.
owns the golf course?
The actual entity, the Stony Brook Community Development District owns it.
Yes.
I don't own this golf course.
No.
We
So
don't,
we-
but
wait.
all right, so the entity does. The residents do not pay into it, so we don't.
Okay.
One time in the 24 years, there was, to get us out of bankruptcy, the courts allowed us to assess the residents. It was $3,200 over a 10-year period. Other than that, the golf course must stand on its revenues alone. So we don't get money from the county, from the residents. The revenues that we build here is what pays for everything on the golf course. So
Okay.
it's a different little animal than most courses.
Right.
So I can't assess the residents for new irrigation system.
I see.
So if we had to,
Well, we'd have to go to
we're not
court.
going to, but we could.
Well, we'd have to go back to court
Right.
and go through
We
that.
have to go to court.
Can you just explain what the CDD is for?
The Community District Development manages, each one is different. I mean,
It's a unit of local special purpose government established under Chapter 190 of the Florida statutes. It is a government very similar to that of a city or a county, only is localized specifically, in this case, to Stony Brook. And at this stage and age of the district, all the board members are residents of the district that are registered to vote here in Lee County. It has all the similar powers that you see with the city or county. We generate our revenue through non-ad valorem assessments that are placed on the property tax bill and collected for us by the property appraiser and tax collector each year. So when you pay your property tax bill, those revenues flow to this district for its operations, which are solely here within the boundaries of Stony Brook, including the golf course.
Okay. So the only funds that go back in the...
Maintain the waterways, and we also maintain the golf course.
Okay, so the only funds that go back in the golf course are whatever's made from the golf course. They don't give much else. And that's what I'm trying to, it was the original development company of this place?
Lennar built the community, and as a part of building the community, they actually floated a bond to pay for the cost of building the golf course, somewhere in the neighborhood of $9 to $10 million. And set it up as a recreational assessment, if you will. So user fees generated through the golf club not only paid for operations, but also retired the debt. Well, that business plan worked other than the retiring of the debt, and specifically when we went through the Great Recession and disposable income dried up and rounds dried up, we ran short on revenues to actually retire the debt. So
Okay.
we had to restructure.
Okay, good.
So building the revenues and building the income is really what will get us to do the things that we need to do, pay the salaries, and do that. So budgeting is very critical.
Okay.
Process of high school.
Yeah. And how many rounds does Stony Brook do a year?
We budgeted, what, 47 or 48 this year?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Just shy of 46 sounds familiar.
Okay.
Close to 50,000.
Yeah. So, we're doing that, and we do the junior golf, and, FGCU, and,
We have PGM program in place here.
Yeah.
Which needs some work.
yes, actually, well, that's another thing, because we are working with the outside pros and the
Okay.
FGCU as far as working with them, and we'd like to continue to keep a good relationship with them.
We still have the mission for all.
We're working on it, yes, we are, but there is a contract that's being drawn up for that.
Yeah, okay.
Our former pro coached the Bishop Row girls, and Andy Scott coached the boys.
Yeah, that was Jeff Nixon, right?
Jeff Nixon.
Yeah, I knew Jeff a little bit because I served on the South Florida PGA board
Oh, okay.
with Jeff. We both were. I got to know him a little bit. Good guy. Yeah.
So they were using the course. and
Okay.
working here. So we're working on a contract with them, as well as in the FGCU and the outside pros.
Okay. How much golf shop inventory do they pretty much carry? You know, how much? 110? Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm used to. Yeah.
And we're currently working on doing a full inventory and working through Golf Now with an inventory process on Golf Now.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
So,
That's good.
go ahead.
So the driving range facility, yeah, I understand it's lighted. You have a lighted facility, but you just keep it lighted during the winter months or year-round? Yeah.
It's year-round, and what we are looking to do is to have more night golf.
Okay.
Get up at night and,
Yeah. And what kind of hours do they keep, how late do they keep the range open with the lights?
now I think it's
Until 9 o'clock.
I think it's till 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock? Okay.
We have one machine out there where we just go back.
Yeah.
Machine, we get one,
Oh, that's good.
it does all that stuff.
Yeah. We got a lighted facility at Crammon too. Yeah, which we were basically open till 9 o'clock as well. So about the same deal. But it's an aqua range here too, right?
Yes.
It is.
Does that work okay? Yeah. I know it has a challenge.
I don't know what other options we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the direction of the wind and all that.
Yep.
Okay. And what kind, golf staff size, how many PGA professionals do you guys usually keep on staff here?
Right now, we just have one. We would prefer two.
Okay.
We have two that are working towards their PGA. So that would give us three. They do lessons. Most of our PGA guys have moved on to other places, which has been,
Okay.
we train when they move, which is good. It's
Good,
been
good.
understood.
And you guys keep it fairly sizable outside service staff, or? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, that's good.
Watch, but yes.
So customer service, you haven't had too many issues with customer, because that's so important. You gotta,
Also, a good part of our staff is part-time, the card attendants. And inside the staff, we have several gentlemen that are retired, maybe.
Tony, Steve, right.
Steve, right. And then, work a couple days a week. So that's more of a cost savings for us because of benefits and all.
Okay.
And part-timers, which works well for us. That and, and we have someone that manages the leagues and setting all that up and does the marketing for us now. So it's a full-time staff. I had 4 full-timers, 3 full-timers, so the rest are part-timers.
Okay.
Which works well because they cover for one another. And when we, in the summer, we didn't need as many, and, so they really help out with all of that. And then John's staff John has the golf course and the common grounds. So
Okay.
we do the common grounds for the community as well.
sure. I understand you guys did a renovation recently in fairways and tees in the last couple of years now. That was on the website, it stated that. But if they redid the greens about 14 years ago.
Right.
Okay.
And we're looking,
It was 10 years ago.
10 years ago, okay.
yes, we're looking to,
We did the borders recently.
we did the bunkers.
Oh, you did the bunkers.
2018 after Irma destroyed them.
Okay.
So we redid the bunkers, we're redoing the bridges, they're almost done at this point. And looking for a full grassing of the fairways, the greens, and a redesign of some of the courses in this summer of '26. So we're looking
Oh,
forward
yeah.
towards that, so.
Something in the future. Okay, yeah.
So
sure.
have you ever worked with a redesign or doing all that at a course?
Yeah, I was involved a little bit with just getting this project started. Yeah, and then I left Granite before the project actually finished. But, yeah, I was involved with the start of it, yeah. Actually, there's a big project that Granite may have in the far future if it goes through gets approved through the county with Jack Nicklaus involved. That was an interesting thing where I actually got to ride around in the car a couple times with Jack Nicklaus, and he oversaw the property and got to see his work style and his design style and what his mind was all about, and that was pretty interesting. So, but that's further down the road with them, but at least I was in the initiating stages of that and got to get a pretty good feel of what Jack Nicklaus is all about in design. So, what's that?
You know Gordy Lewis?
Yeah.
You know Gordy Lewis?
Do I know him? No, I know I've heard him, but I don't know him, no.
That's our,
Oh, okay.
that's who we're working with.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Tom, do you have any questions?
I had him ask a couple of questions.
Okay.
I had him ask a couple of questions about changes and so forth.
Yeah, now the course maintenance, the course maintenance isn't a company hired outside, their own company. This is just hiring maintenance staff here that you didn't outsource to another company that you pay.
We do all the golf, we do it here. There are
Okay.
employees, we don't outsource.
All in-house.
So it's all in-house.
Right. And as far as, you have people with annual pass, you have community, you have people with private golf carts that they can use on the golf course? No, that's smart.
They can bring them to the community center or up to the golf course, but they cannot use them on the course.
Brilliant. That creates, that's all. It's a wild animal. Yeah, a lot of problems go with that.
Insurance issues as well, so, no, we don't allow any personal carts
Okay.
on the course.
I see. Good. As far as the food and beverage stuff, now food and beverage is just handled through Duffy's.
At this point in time, concession, we have our own concession, we can offer wine and beer on the
Okay.
course. We have a beverage card. We are currently working with Duffy's to see
Oh, yeah.
how that will work. It's an ongoing process because they're looking at insurance on the course. So we are currently working with them, and we are partnering with them on many things.
So what do you do when you have corporate outings and they want to have
In the-
dinner or lunch afterwards?
Okay. In the past, they have they've hired their own caterers to come in.
Oh, I see.
We are currently working with Duffy's to have them do they are putting together, because they have this at another one of their Duffy's on the East Coast, a menu for different, a package for different, so we're working with them on that. So that's been a work in process.
Oh, good. How long have they been here?
They've been here
September 2nd, 5 years, 6 years.
6 years, no, they were here in
How long?
14 or 15. Yeah, they've been here about 9 years.
Oh, okay, so they're not brand new. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is their highest revenue store. They were also closed for about 2 years because of COVID.
Okay.
So that kind of cut into all of that. And then 2 years ago, we actually purchased the property. The residents purchased the property, so that we now own that.
It's $9 million to the kitchen clubhouse.
Okay.
Well, that's another story. That's 25 years ago. There's nothing we can change at this point. I know it still irks you, but it is what it is.
So how many outside corporate events do they do a year, pretty much?
We're trying to knock that down.
We're trying to lower that in season. We have a great group that comes from Chicago in February.
South side, too.
Oh, okay.
Pardon me?
From the south side.
Yeah.
That's where
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's really a fundraiser for them. It's always the weekend before the Super Bowl.
it's a kill cut.
Yeah.
So, and they have
Lots of betting.
lots of betting. Oh, yeah. Big
Yeah.
betting. So, and they donate money back. I mean, they have helped us with stuff, and so that's,
They bought it then.
and then the PA system they bought last year, and I'm in speaking with Dan, he wants to know what they can do for us this year, so we're working on that.
Bathrooms.
That's in the redesign.
Air conditioning for the snack shack.
Yeah,
We're working on things.
okay.
Bring it up at the next meeting.
Clubhouse or more.
What's that?
Our bathrooms at our clubhouse or more.
He's trying to be.
And a building big enough.
Well, that's something we're working on in the redesign. So, and Duffy's is on board
So,
with that. So we're
what
working
year-
on something else with Duffy.
What year was the clubhouse built?
1998.
98,
99.
Okay,
98, 98, 99.
yeah.
So we have one bathroom for the ladies and a bathroom and
A stall.
a urinal for the men.
That's it.
So,
Yeah.
but, yeah, we're making it through, and we're working on the options for that. So that would be something that we would expect the Pro to have a good relationship with Duffy's and with, to build up their business, because we receive 5% of any of their sales over $2 million at the end of the year, which goes back into the reserves to improve that part of the facility. Can't be used for the golf course, or go back to the residents to reduce their annual
Okay.
budget to pay off the bond. So
Okay.
it's a lot.
Good, good. So the relationship with CE and the golf course and the membership, how's that relationship? Is that a pretty positive relationship? Things go pretty smoothly?
For the most part. I mean, you always have the complainers.
Yeah, because I know you guys make the final decisions on everything. So I know there's always conflicts of interest with the the membership body and what they want done and what you guys can and are willing to do. Okay.
For the most part, I mean, the residents, we had many meetings with regard to purchasing
Yeah.
the property, because that came onto the homeowner's tax bill, but they paid off the other bond.